Morning, I watched a reel of co-workers of Alex Pretti honor him. This just isn't right. You know, this is so wrong, what's happened. It was so unnecessary. There was no need for all of that to go down in the way that it did. It is just an example of how out of control ICE is. It's why I call on Kristi Noem to resign. It's why I call on ICE to get out of these cities and these states. Donald Trump needs to rein this in and take this back. We have people who are clearly untrained who work for ICE now. As you know, a lot of people were recruited with $50,000 bonuses, come work for ICE. Minimal training. I've talked to colleagues in other states. Some of the training is online training. Online training. You would never run a law enforcement agency, or any agency, frankly, with online training. And what we have seen happen in Minnesota now, week after week, is action and conduct that is not consistent with good law enforcement practices, is harming public safety. It's not helping public safety. We actually have the safety and the well-being and lives of residents and Americans threatened by ICE's presence in these places. And I don't know what else it's going to take. I encourage people to read the statement of Alex Pretti's parents, Susan and Michael Pretti. Read that, take that in. Think about who this man was, an ICU nurse who served our veterans. And in that moment, watch the video. Watch any of the versions of the video. I know what I see. I know I see somebody who's standing with a cell phone, which, by the way, is a First Amendment protected right in this country. And I see him also looking to protect a woman who ICE was coming after, okay? That's what I saw. So my heart goes out to Alex Pretti, to his co-workers, and I really hope Americans take this in and understand the very sad and dangerous moment we've reached in this country. And it's why Kristi Noem has got to go. Kristi Noem's got to go. ICE has got to get out of these communities now. And Donald Trump needs to act and step up. And if he doesn't act, then Republicans in Congress need to force the accountability here, because we cannot continue to have Americans in our neighborhoods and cities and states across this country at risk. That's what needs to happen right now. I also am very bothered by what happened after his killing, okay? Because, you know, remember, I come to this as a prosecutor, as a former attorney general, as somebody who investigated police-involved shootings and other criminal matters. And what did we see immediately? We saw immediately efforts to smear Alex Pretti and who he was. We saw lies, absolute lies. Look at the videos. We saw lies, and now more has come out. We've seen the head of the FBI not even understand Second Amendment law, right? We've seen the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, with whom I served, making outrageous, illegal, unlawful threats to state officials, essentially extortion, saying produce your voter rolls in exchange for ICE leaving town. That's not right. You know, what was it last week? We saw the release, the disclosure of an ICE memo to ICE employees that basically said, throw away everything we've done for 250 years, throw away the Fourth Amendment. You have the right to go right into someone's home. As governor of Massachusetts, that infuriates me. Because 250 years ago, it was a lawyer named James Otis who stood before a court here in the Commonwealth and said it is wrong for British soldiers to be able to go into people's homes without a warrant and ransack their property. That's what led John Adams to write the Massachusetts Constitution, which said that's wrong and people have a right. People have a right. And that right later appeared in the United States Constitution, the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment. So here we are celebrating 250 years of American history, and we've got a federal administration that's ready to throw out the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. I could go on. That's why people in America need to take this in for what it is, okay? And understand, just juxtapose the videos and the testimony and the accounts alongside statements you're seeing from the likes of Kristi Noem, Greg Bavino, and other people who don't know what they're doing, are not doing their jobs responsibly, and are certainly acting in ways that are unlawful, unconstitutional, and do a huge disservice to the American public. Enough is enough. This needs to stop. And I hope that people today say a prayer for Alex Pretti and his poor parents who have to live this horrific tragedy, so unnecessary, but a sign of the times and where we're at, and I hope it stops.